All right, give me 1 second here, boys and girls. Actually, there's a little too much lighting here. Let me bring this down a tad. Try to bring it up because it was kind of dark, but that looks better. Okay, you know what? We'll go ahead and roll with that. How's everybody doing on their Labor Day weekend, by the way? This is Sean White coming to you here from another edition. I'm so super excited of bringing on board this very special guest, in which we're going to have a lot of fun, guys. So hoping that everybody's really enjoying their Labor Day weekend, and we have another exclusive episode of Transformation Greatness along with the Small Business Network podcast. And we are definitely growing leaps and bounds. This has been amazing. It's been an honor and a privilege as far as to be able to do this. And why is that? It's because of the fact that for individuals such as you're able to come on, you're able to be inspired, you're able to learn different concepts, ideas, and it's very refreshing as well. And so with that, we're definitely going to go ahead and get this party started. So for all those that's in the listening audience, such as, hey, how you doing, partner? We have Dr. James in the house. If you can do me a favor, kind sir, go ahead and share that to our respective platforms. For all those that's in attendance, if you catch us on the live, put in hashtag live. Let us know exactly where you're tuning in from, guys. If you know me, you've been following me for quite some time. You know I love dialogue. I love interaction. I love that whole, bit. And if you should be happy to catch us on a replay because, you're either attending to other commitments or you're with the family, etc. Then put in hashtag replay and let us know where you're tuning in from. And most importantly, what resonates with you, because there's going to be a lot of great stuff. So if you were me, right, and if I was in a listener audience, when the guest comes on, I would definitely have a pen and a piece of paper, and I'll be ready as far as to ask questions and take notes as well. So that's just a little something there. So I'm just waiting for our special guest to go ahead and pop on the scene. I believe she's in the listener audience. If she can just comment, just say hello, let everybody know that she's in the building. And during this meantime, do me a favor, if you will, right, guys? Tag your teams. Let everybody know as far as what's going on. And why I say that is because the special guest that's coming on, she is someone that's well accomplished. She is someone that's doing a lot of great things. She has her own podcast. She's a serial entrepreneur. I mean, like, she's doing big things. And so I believe, as far as for those that's on here, can definitely benefit from what she's going to have to say. And so I see her in the listening audience. So I'm going to bring her on board. I'm going to pull her off from the audience and bring her on to the silver screen, because that's how we do here, right? Because she is the star of the show. So you guys didn't come to hear about me, and yeah, I do appreciate it. I'm very flattered, by the way, but it's not about me, right? It's about our very special guest. So let me go ahead and bring her on here. And let's see here. Give me a couple of seconds, guys. If you know with Facebook, it can be kind of wonky, right? Sometimes it takes about a few moments for them just to build up the algorithm, that sort of thing. But see, that's the reason why I love doing live streams, right, on the podcast. It's because of the fact it's real. It's real lifetime action. Yeah, it's great if it's recorded, right? And, dot your I's, cross your T's. I mean, that's all great and amazing and fantastic. But in the real world, we all know as entrepreneurs, things is not truly exact. And there's things that happen, especially like in entertainment, right? Especially with TV and radio. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes that obviously we would never, ever get to see, because the only thing we see is the finished product, which rightfully so. But if you're like me, you like to see the takes. You like to see the errors, the mistakes, and different things of that nature. Why is that? Because that's how you're able to learn, right? And you see as far as on what it takes to build a successful show, to build a successful business, to build a successful brand, right? Going through those steps in different chapters. And I believe a lot of people, they just want to bypass that and just have the finished product, right? And in the real world, we all know it doesn't work that way. So that's just me, right? I'm different, and I get that. Some people look at me as being weird, but that stuff like that, I just absolutely love. So, Latrice, are you ready to rock and roll? Actually, a fun fact about our special guest. Her Facebook account is Latrice Gardner, but she would like to be known and recognized by Francia, right? I think it's Francia. No, I'm sorry. It's one of those. It's Francia. It's like fresh air, but it's Francia. Francia. See, I'm getting good. She got an original name. I like it. Got not a lot of spice to it. So I'm just trying to see here if I can get her on board here. Francia, if you can do me a favor, if you can just actually send me an invite to jump on board. Okay, to jump on board the podcast, because I sent you out an invite, but you probably didn't see it. I don't know if you have, but I'm gonna try again, guys. Yeah, let's go ahead and try again. Like I said, Facebook. Oh, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add you right now. And okay, I'm trying to add you on, but it's saying that you're having technical difficulties. Let me ask you this: do you have your phone the same way you had it before? Do you have it auto rotate like in landscape mode, or do you have it as far as like just in portrait mode? Remember, like we spoke before, you want to have it in landscape mode. So I'm just curious to see on how you have your phone. Because I'm gonna try again. Because I just try to add you on and just say you was having technical difficulties. That's the message in which that I got. And so, yeah, let's see here. All right, let's see what we got here. Yep, it's saying this person was unable to join because of technical issues. Okay, interesting stuff there. Interesting stuff. Give me a second here, guys. During the meantime, if you just want to just, collaborate amongst yourselves, say hello, get to know each other as well. But we're definitely going to get this rocking and rolling here, so. All right, so I just reached out to you, Miss Franchier. And I'm just ready to go ahead and get this rocking and rolling. And it's exciting times, guys. Oh, by the way, too, why I have you guys' attention. If you missed our most recent episode from the Small Business Network show, we actually did it about a few hours ago. So if you haven't had an opportunity, by all means, go ahead and take a look at that, because it is absolutely fascinating and amazing. A lot of great information was in fact shared. So I would definitely recommend for you, when you have a chance, of course, is just to go on my page and scroll down a bit. And I believe about 5 hours ago, we actually did the Small Business Network show. It's pretty fascinating and pretty amazing. So let's see here. Okay. Okay, awesome. Interesting here. So it says that she's ready to rock and roll and lose control. But yet when I'm trying to add her. Okay, here we go. So now it's adding right now. So as you all know, as far as on Facebook, we're gonna go ahead and get it rocking and rolling. And with no further ado, we have here Miss Francia. Love, I'm starting to really love that name. Francia Gardner, right here to my right. So hello there, ma'am.
Hi, how you doing today, Sean?
You know what? I am doing fantastic. But the better question is, how are you doing?
I am awesome, amazing, super duper.
That's what I'm
That's
talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So before we get started, as I mentioned to you, I'm a fan of the fine arts. So I'm looking at that painting in the background, and I want to know two things. One, did you do that yourself? And if you did, how long did it take you to complete the painting?
I cannot take credit for the beautiful art behind me. The art is by Bronze Lion Artistry, and so yeah, that's whose art it is.
All right. Cool, cool. So let's go ahead and dive in. So if you can just, for the listening audience, just tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit of your backstory.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on the network today, Sean. My name is Frenchier Gardner. I'm born and raised in Dallas, Texas. Spent a considerable time in St. Louis, Missouri, cultivating myself and my businesses. And I am an entrepreneur. Right now, I'm an artist. Definitely consider myself an artist. I'm an author, an award-winning author, #1 Amazon bestseller, and I paint. I paint as well, and I'm a podcaster. I'm the host of a podcast called A News You Can Use podcast. And this little Southern belle from Dallas, Texas, has been through a lot of different experiences and a lot of different trauma to overcome to become this strong woman who I am today.
Mm, amazing. Wow, you definitely said a lot. So you have accomplished so much, and that's something that I truly admire and respect because just like as far as myself, that's definitely a part of my backstory is like so many different phases as far as to my life, right? Been through so much different trials and tribulations, as I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have, right? But there's certain things in which I've been experienced too, especially as, at a young age with the type of environment which I came from, no one should have to experience or even see that, right? But
Right.
or praises to God, honestly. So I'm basically a walking testimony, and it sounds like you as well.
Yes.
One thing about my audience, they love to know the backstory, right? They love to learn or know what truly inspired you, like to even become an entrepreneur, right? Right? Because there are individuals that probably don't have any desire whatsoever to be an entrepreneur, or they maybe dabbled in this beautiful profession, but just felt like it wasn't for them. So maybe as far as you can give us a little backstory, what brought you up to this point? What inspired you to become an entrepreneur? Was there anyone that inspired you to want to get into this industry? Talk to us.
Yes. So growing up, I watched my father. He was an entrepreneur. He had his own business that he worked. And as I grew older, I just found that I just wanted my time back. I was working these jobs and I wanted to figure out how to leverage my time and my money and actually do some things that I'm passionate about. And so in the search for those things, I ended up becoming a entrepreneur back in, I say 2014, 15, something like that, or maybe 2016.
Okay.
But I just wanted to have my own time. I didn't want to be clocking in and asking for permission to go to the doctor. And there's nothing wrong with having a job, but I personally just wanted to be free, really, and also leave a legacy for my children. I have 4 children. I wanted to leave something for them to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We have here brother Mark Rodriguez in the house, my powerful on purpose alumni brother. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For everybody else that's just tuning in, welcome once again here, Transformation Greatness, along with the Small Business Network podcast. We have here our special guest here, Latrice Gardner, aka Miss Frenchier. I love that name, by the way, too. I love it, Miss Frenchier. So you mentioned as far as with that you have accomplished a lot, such as being a podcaster, also a award-winning author as well.
Yes.
Cool, cool. When did you become an author, and what inspired you to become an author?
I became an author December 2019. I'd moved back to Dallas, Texas. I was taking care of my mama, and I had a vivid dream about, I had a vivid dream. One of my peers from St. Louis was telling me that I needed to do more to let my 4 children, Joseph Jr., French Hair 2, Melchizedek, and Sarai, to let them know that I still love them. And a little backstory in regards to my family life is that due to circumstances, when I was married, we lost our children, and CPS took them, and they've been adopted by a family in another state, and a closed adoption, and they're all together, but I don't have any contact with them. So to bring back up to speed, in December 2019, I had a vivid dream where my peer was telling me that I needed to do more to let my children know that I still love them, that I still was thinking about them. And so, Sean, I woke up from that dream, and the next day I penned the first edition of my children's book called Mommy and Daddy, Do You Still Love Me Anymore?
Mm.
And not only did I write the first edition in one day, in one sitting, I actually published it as a Kindle ebook that same very day. So that's how my writing career took off.
And as far as for the podcasting side?
And podcasting, 2000, I guess it's been 4 years now. So around the same time at the beginning of the, no, it can't be. Either way, I started podcasting when I was in the insurance industry. I was talking to one of my girlfriends about marketing strategies, and she suggested that I become a podcaster on YouTube and show myself as an expert in the insurance industry. Well,
Okay.
I tabled that idea, but it was always in the back of my head. And so I went to this co-working space in St. Louis one week, and they had business classes in the evening. And so I went to one of them, which the topic was podcasting. And at that time, I didn't have a podcast, but one of the first questions that they asked, Sean, was, what was the name of your podcast, and what is it about?
Right.
So on the fly, I made up my podcast, News You Can Use podcast. And at that time, I was just about promoting what was good and positive that was going on in the communities, like just basically bringing news, talking about events and current events, things like that.
Right.
So that's how the podcast got started. Probably, several episodes into it, I kind of revamped and decided I wanted to bring in guests. And that's when I decided to promote Black and brown business owners, because I feel like we do a lot of impactful work in our communities, but the mainstream media is not like picking up on it. They're not talking about it. And so I wanted to use my platform for that.
Awesome. And during the time frame that you've been podcasting, so a little bit over 4 years, is that correct?
Yes.
What have you found to be the greatest joys of being a podcaster and some of the challenges of being a podcaster?
So my greatest joys of podcasting have been all the amazing entrepreneurs and business owners that I've interviewed and met over the time. I've interviewed over about 75 business owners and entrepreneurs, and they are all awesome and amazing and really doing some impactful work. So that's been the best part about it, the networking.
Right.
The most challenging part of podcasting, I would say, has been at the end, after I've done all the recording, either audio or visual, and it's time to publish the episode with the show notes. Those show notes give me hell, if I can say that. Trying to figure out what's the best thing so I can get the SEO optimization and people can find it. And oh my God, that's what takes me the most time. So I would say that, and just marketing the podcast, just trying to push it and keep it going and keep getting listens and downloads. I think those are the most two challenges I've had.
Yeah, indeed. And for anyone that's in like entertainment that's doing the kind of work in which that we're doing, right? The podcast, doing the actual podcast itself is the easy part, right? That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
But in terms of the back end stuff, it takes a lot of time, and that can be the most challenging. So you're most certainly correct on that. Got a question for you.
Sure.
So because of the fact that you're going to be coming on board and you're going to be a co-host with us as well, which congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Definitely. What can the listener audience expect from listening to your podcast?
tuning in to some awesome business owners, getting some uh, insight on business. Really, it's a business podcast. So my guests, they add value in regards to business and entrepreneurism. And so if you're a business owner, my podcast is definitely something worth tuning into, because we talk about a lot of different subjects, and marketing, balance, work life balance, and type things like that. So that's what I would expect.
Awesome. And you did mention that you are an artiste. I don't think that we touch bases more so on the artistic side. So maybe you can dive into that a little bit more when you said you're an artiste.
Yeah. Yeah, I paint. I started painting a few years ago. I took a class, an introduction to acrylic painting,
Mhm.
and just loved it. I really did. I really enjoyed it. Missed a few classes. So I didn't get to learn all the details, like how you got faces and things like that. So I'm mostly an abstract painter.
Okay.
So I do abstract work, and it's relaxing to me. And I'm hoping for anyone who indulges in my art, that it brings them peace and calmness as well.
Absolutely. Now, for those that may be watching this, and I know what you mean by abstract art, but for the listening audience, and maybe those that may be like, okay, I have no idea what the heck she means by that. Can you explain to the listener audience what do you mean by abstract art?
I sure can. So abstract art doesn't have any faces. It's not anything specific. I'm not drawing anything. I'm not painting anything specific. It's really just something, it's just strokes, and so you're not gonna find any faces or anything like that, or animals, or any kind of object. Basically this is the
Right.
objectless art, where it's more of designs, or aesthetics. So it's more about what the eye of the beholder will see within the art themselves.
So it's more so, I guess, to paraphrase it. So it would be more so like it's very therapeutic. Can we call it like life art or therapeutic life
Sure,
art, would you say?
sure.
All right, cool. Then there it is. We have Roosevelt Russell here in the house, also another one of our fellow partners here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me ask you this, and it's something which I love to ask a lot of my guests, right? Because it seems like you have accomplished a lot. And I love to ask this question because I love to get, different responses. Because you accomplish so much, and you can really say to yourself, like, you know what? I'm cool as far as what I'm doing, right? I have my tribe, right? I have my people of listeners, those that reach out to me, etc. And I'm good, right? I don't want to, try to reach other people. I'm good and I'm comfortable, right? So I guess my question to you would be, why is it important as far as to reach more of an audience, and really also two-part question, and also what inspired you to us, the Small Business Network? I'm very curious on that.
So that is a two-part question. The first question, the second question, I'll answer by saying that Dr. James reached out to me, and we talked, and that's how the Small Business Network got how that interest became a thing.
Okay.
And then what was the first question?
Yeah, so the first question is, why is it imperative to reach now a larger audience instead of just basically staying within the audience in which that you built up?
I've always dreamed of being global. Really, that's been since I was about 19 years old. I had a dream of me speaking to large audiences. I feel that my message pervades and transcends. I think that a lot of people have experienced the things I've experienced, and I do think that I can inspire and motivate people to get up and do what they're passionate about, and to find their purposes. That's really my goal. in anything that I do is about, expressing that, okay, yeah, I've been through some hard things, some terrible things, but that hasn't stopped me from accomplishing anything. And that's really my main message to anyone, is that your past is just that, your past, and you can leave it right there. Let it empower you to be who you want to be, today and tomorrow.
Amazing, amazing stuff. The reason why I keep looking down is because I'm just trying to see if anybody has any questions in the listening audience, and I
Okay.
I guess not. So that must mean, as far as you were definitely very precise as far as with your information, and they're getting a lot of value from it. That's what I get from that, from people not asking questions. So last but not least, and then from there I'll definitely let you go because I know your time is limited. If people were to watch this and they're like, wow, I would love to get a hold of her, but I have no idea on what, social media avenues that she is, how can people get a hold of you?
Well, first of all, I give out my website. You can chat with me on my website. It's my first name is Frenchair. That's spelled F as in Friday, RENCHAIRE.com. And that's my website. You can tap into my art, my books, and you can just tap into me in general. You can chat with me there. I'm very social, so I'm on Facebook. I like to give out my business pages. You can like my page, French Air Gardner, or French Air's Gardner public relations page. On Instagram, follow me at PR, like public relations, PR French Air. I'm on TikTok at French Air, at my first name, Clubhouse at French Air Gardner. I'm on what's the thing? Twitter at Miss MS Frenchie, FRENCHY 06. So I'm very social. You can give me a call if you want to call me at 314-325-9851. But mainly it's my website, FrenchAir.com, that you want to connect to. That's where my art is, my paintings, and all 5 or 6 of my books are on there too for your purchase, so you can get you some signed copies and things.
Amazing, amazing. And before we leave, I'm sorry, actually, when the podcast is over with, just make sure that you put all your information as far as in the comment section,
Okay.
because I believe it's going to be individuals that's going to want to reach out to you. And that's mostly, I see like a common theme when I do these podcasts,
Okay.
which is truly a tremendous honor and a joy. I do have just one last question. And this is something for, if someone is watching this and they're like, wow, right? They're like, man, she's doing so much, right? And I truly appreciate that, and it's amazing. But I can't do as far as on what she's doing, right? I mean, her situation is totally different from mine. I got so much going on. I'm experiencing a lot of trauma. I got great ideas. I know maybe one day, right, I can do it, but not right now, right? I just got too much going on. I would like for you to just, for a few moments, take a look into that camera. And if it was that individual, either man or woman, that were actually telling you that and you're listening to it, what type of advice would you give him or her? Take it away.
I would say I'd encourage you to go ahead and get going. Life is short. My sister died when she was 42 years old. Like I'm a year older than that now, and that was like 10 years ago. And she taught me that life is too short. Life is fleeting. You don't have much time here. So it's really imperative that, one, you find out who you are, and then two, you get busy on your purpose. Because I believe that everyone, and I mean everyone that's born here on this planet, has been predestined with their own plan and purposes and passions.
Mm,
And so I think that it's imperative that we all get to that, and we get to our purposes, because there are people that we're supposed to touch. There's specific people in the world that individually are supposed to touch. And so um it's those people need you. You have a testimony, you have a story, And it's not all about telling a story or any of that, but it's just a matter of being empowered
Mm.
and to empower others. And so that's really would be what I would say, is that go get busy. Don't wait. You don't know what tomorrow is going to hold. We're hoping that we're going to be here, but you don't know. And so that's really how I've lived my life. If that's how I've accomplished so much, because all the good ideas that the ancestors tapped down on me, I put them out there in the world. I put them out there, and that's how you be great. You just put it out there. You take the risks. You got to take the risks. Sometimes it's about planning and waiting, but don't procrastinate. Uh,
That's right.
find your passions today.
That's right. That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes another fantastic episode from Transformation Greatness along with the Small Business Network podcast. We have our amazing guest and future co-host as well, Miss Franchier. I love that name. I know I said that multiple times, but I do. Miss Franchier Gardner. You can definitely catch her as far as on all the social media handles. You're going to be seeing her face a lot more as she's going to be doing amazing work with us. And I just know as far as you'll be able to learn a lot, by following her and even connecting with her. For everybody else that's watching this, if you love as far as on what we do and you would love to be a guest, right, as far as on the podcast, you can get in contact with myself, Miss Franchier, Dr. James, Roosevelt Russell, Christy Redding, and any one of us would be more than happy to go ahead and assist you. And even if you said to yourself, you know what, that's cool and all, but I would love as far as to be on TV and radio. Perhaps you may be one of those that would like to have your own channel. By all means, please feel free to have a conversation with us, and we can definitely see as far as on what that looks like, because we are here to serve and really get the message out as far as, to people that can truly benefit and resonate from your brand, your message, your story, your business, etc., because that's what we're all about. So until then, family, enjoy the rest of your Labor Day weekend, and I'm going to end this like I end all my other episodes. And if what we stated on here either motivated, transformed, or inspired at least one person, then may God be the glory, and we take no credit for absolutely none of it. Until then, Franchair, I thank you for your time. It's been very impactful, and I know it's just going to go a long way. So until the next episode, everyone, enjoy your weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. Peace.
Absolutely.